Today's documentary, The Ghost of the Valencia, a Pacific Nightmare. The world vanished. One moment, there was the solid deck of the SS Valencia beneath your feet. The next, a shuddering, deafening crunch. The scream of tearing iron. The Pacific, black and foaming, exploded through the hull. The shock threw passengers from their bunks. Freezing salt water, thick with the smell of oil and cold dust, flooded the corridors in seconds. Children screamed for mothers who were already gone. The lights flickered, died. The ship was being eaten alive by the reef. And the shore, the safety of the shore, was just 100 yards away, visible only in the jagged, white bursts of the waves against a black cliff. That cruel, impossible distance. That was the first death sentence. The SS Valencia was a comfortable coastal steamer, 252 feet of iron and optimism. On January 20th, 1906, she left San Francisco for Seattle, carrying 108 passengers and a crew of 56. Captain Oscar M. Johnson commanded her. The weather turned. It wasn't just a storm, it was a malevolent force. A thick, greasy fog swallowed the world. The driving rain became horizontal sleet. The wind wasn't a sound. It was a constant, demented roar. Navigational calculations became guesswork. The charts were wrong. Dead wrong. Just after midnight on January 22nd, the ship's lookout saw a wall of spray ahead. He screamed. It was too late. The Valencia drove herself onto a submerged ledge of the treacherous Pachena Point. The impact was not a single blow, but a series of grinding, murderous jerks. Chaos. Absolute, primal chaos. Lifeboats were swung out. One, filled with women and children, was lowered directly into a surging wave that capsized it, dumping all into the boiling surf. Another swung wildly, smashed against the iron hull, and shattered into matchwood. Captain Johnson ordered rockets fired. Distress calls tapped out on the wireless, a new, miraculous technology. SOS. We are on the rocks. Sinking. The reply from the lighthouse station at Cape Beale was faint, broken. Hold on. Help coming. But the geography was a trap. The Valencia was pinned in a cauldron of surf, directly beneath 100-foot cliffs, impossible to scale. The rescue ship SS City of Topeka arrived, but the storm was too violent. They couldn't get close. They saw the tiny figures on the deck, waving. They heard, over the wind, what they thought were screams. For 36 hours, the Valencia held together, a dying beast being picked apart by the sea. Survivors huddled in the rigging, frozen, lashed by spray. One by one, they lost their grip and vanished. A young mother, Ida Weisinger, clutched her baby until her hands, blue and stiff, could no longer hold. A crewman, Frank Lane, tied himself to the mast. He watched the waves swallow the stern, where his friends were trapped. Then, a light, a spark of hope. A lifeboat from the Topeka, manned by heroic volunteers, fought through the maelstrom. They got a line to the wreck. They could ferry people to safety, but the Valencia's stern began to break apart. The line snapped. The final horror came just before dawn on January 23rd. A colossal wave, a mountain of black water, rose up and swept the entire midsection of the Valencia clean. Over 100 souls were scraped into the sea in an instant. When the sun rose, gray and cold, the shattered bow and stern were all that remained. 3 years later, in 1909, fishermen near Barkley Sound made a grisly discovery. A lifeboat, weathered and bleached, drifted silently in a secluded cove. Inside were 8 human skeletons. The boat's markings were unmistakable. It was lifeboat number 5 from the SS Valencia. To stand on the windswept beach at Pachena Point today is to feel a profound silence. The Valencia is not just a shipwreck. It is an open wound in the landscape, a moment of pure, screaming horror that the Pacific has not been allowed to forget. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to our channel. We bring you fascinating documentaries on history, science, civilizations, mysteries, and the untold stories that shaped our world. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new release. See you in the next one.